I won't be able to stream during the early vote counting. I don't get back from work today until a little bit before the day will be over. But I thought it would be kind of nice to just put together a map and go through my predictions. Now, of course, I will maintain that I think even in giving a lot of these states to Harris, that it could go one way or the other. But I also have said for the past 2 years that the overturning of Roe v. Wade was one of the stupidest things that Republicans could have possibly done. It energized a lot of female voters all across America. And I don't think anyone who is honest when talking about this will refuse to acknowledge the very extreme likelihood that Harris will get more votes than Trump. Whether that's enough to win her the election or not depends on what states they're in. I should also say that there are pollsters who are purposefully doing this thing where they try to underreport so that it can look like it's 50-50, and then their numbers don't appear to be as screwed up or botched as they are. They don't want to go into, just asking specific groups and being as thorough with their reporting. If you want to go state by state, Nevada, right, that could go either way, and same thing with Arizona. But because of Lake and I'm like me being thoroughly convinced she will lose to Gallego, I think there's a possibility that there might be some Trump Gallego voters where they support Gallego for Senate but then vote for Trump. But I really couldn't imagine him winning that Senate election and it not benefiting Harris in some way. And I think it will be a victory on the part of both of them if he's able to defeat Lake, which I think he will. Georgia and North Carolina, and it's always hard to win states in the South. If you're a Democrat in the modern day. But again, this is still going off of just the trend of more and more Democrats being registered there. A lot of the early voting numbers appearing to be more favorable for Harris than Trump. Michigan is kind of up in the air for me because I do think it'll be harder for her there due to her what I've said is her stupidity in being so incapable and cowardly in terms of taking a position more favorable towards Palestinians in the Israeli-Hamas conflict, which has caused a lot of people who otherwise would have supported her to support Jill Stein. And their position is they couldn't care less if Trump wins or not. They just want their opposition to her position to be something that cost her. So that is the one area in that state where I think she might have some trouble. Wisconsin, again, I just think it'll go her way because of that hidden vote that she may possibly have. I'm not crazy enough to try giving her Texas or Florida. There is a possibility of Florida. Florida used to be a swing state. Obama won it in 2008 and 2012. And there's also an even more remote possibility of her winning Iowa. She's not going to win Texas, but she will probably do better there or about the same as Biden did. So, lose by about 3-4 points. She'll be helped out by the fact that the Senate race over there appears to be rather close too. But yeah, all in all, I've said this for a while now. Trump has run a pretty crappy campaign that has mostly been aided by his cult of personality, right? Through that primary to name recognition, criminal charges that have taken a very long time to really get into their proceedings. And with Harris, even as someone who they love to mock her as, oh, she didn't get the votes in the primary, ha ha ha. Well, she's a Democratic nominee. She's received ridiculous amounts of fundraising from members of her own party, and very much has been energetic in terms of being able to just rally up crowds. Now, again, if we see that same enthusiasm today, we'll find out. But as things currently stand, if I had to pick one over the other to win, I think Harris will win. I could be wrong. I said before, we live in such a polarized era that you can never, at least with I'd say most presidential elections, be so definitive. But I just think all of the signs are pointing towards her either narrowly or thoroughly defeating Trump. And if I'm incorrect, I'll be the first one to admit that I am. It is what it is.